When I opened this channel, I knew it was at a disadvantage. People like strong reactions. That's why fake prank videos are so popular. It doesn't even matter if it's obviously fake. Apparently there is some sort of catharsis watching someone react in exaggerated ways. The same applies for reaction videos of all sorts, from listening to music to playing video games. The horror genre seems to be especially ripe for this kind of content. It's no surprise that the videos which usually go viral are players screaming their heads off after a jump scare. I get it, I also like to make people play horror video games, just to see them suffer. Maybe it all comes from this very human pleasure of sharing what we love, making somebody else understand our emotions. Now, I said I was at a disadvantage because even though I love horror video games and I've literally played hundreds of them, I just don't get scared at all. Most cheap scare tactics, I just see them coming a mile away. I'm not afraid of dark environments and most jump scares come off as a bit annoying really. And the more I look for games to play every week, the more I realize there is quite a big problem in modern horror gaming, especially from independent developers. Hello, Spooky here. Spooky games for spooky people. If the algorithm brought you to this channel, heed your call and maybe stay for a while. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about what I think might be the biggest issue about modern horror games. They're just not made for gamers anymore. They're made for viewers. Apparently most horror games today are carefully designed to be played and streamed by famous YouTubers to overreact and for their audience to say how funny it was when they jumped off their chairs. If you find this video informative or entertaining at all, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel, but only if you think I deserve it. So stay till the end and make your own conclusions. So the main question is, when did games stop being scary to play and start being fun to watch? Before the advent of YouTube and streaming, horror games seemed to be more focused on scaring the shit out of players through the use of tense atmospheres, engaging stories and nerve-wracking game mechanics. The result? Immersion. Players had the opportunity to fully absorb games and live in this spooky fictional world for several hours. It didn't matter if you had to go through 20 pages of flavor text or if you had to try 10 times before beating bosses. There was an always present sense of danger and isolation. The whole experience was even better if you were alone and you could simply take your time. When did it all change? It's a fact that social media and platforms like YouTube and Twitch changed the whole idea of how we experience horror games. My earliest recollection of a horror game going viral through YouTube was Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and this is well known to have been the game that launched PewDiePie's career on the platform and basically made the whole scream reaction genre of videos so popular. But I think the whole trend really blew up with Slender, the 8 pages, a game that absolutely exploited jump scares and short-form experiences so as to be palatable for most people who don't even play horror video games. It was a very simple game, with very simple rules. It also had loud noises every 10 seconds, so it was perfect for reaction-based content. And we can't forget about Five Nights at Freddy's, which also checked all the boxes for a very appealing watching experience, especially for children. So it seems it's been about a decade that horror games are designed to take viewers into account. There is an over-reliance on jump scares and loud noises and chase sequences and even marketable characters for people to obsess about. I can't help but think this approach has made late horror games shallow and predictable and void of all the depth that may be attained by a masterfully crafted horror game experience. Watchability has replaced immersion, and cheap material that can be used as clickbait has replaced any attempt at artistic merit. I'm not saying this is true for all cases. Modern games like Visage did a wonderful job at creating immersive horror experiences meant for players to savor patiently. Even the game warns you about this at the beginning. And other indie horror games like Signalis have been looking back at the roots of survival horror as an inspiration. Even bigger games like Alien Isolation and Resident Evil 7 took a right turn when they decided to exploit slower, more patient approaches to gameplay that are not necessarily watcher-friendly. Now let me be clear on this, there is nothing wrong in enjoying watching other people play horror games. I enjoy it, especially when it's somebody that I know will be too scared to even move forward. All I'm saying is game developers should take gamers as their #1 priority, rather than being a view magnet that will be likely picked up by a big YouTuber, just for their audience to have their fun. I think a good horror game doesn't need any of the common tried and true scare tactics to be effective. I think a good horror game will be imprinted into the player's mind. It will stay with them long after it's finished, and will make them experience the game's world firsthand for a couple hours. Who knows, maybe even viewers can get a taste of this if the experience is spooky enough. So what do you think? Do you agree that modern horror games are prioritizing watchability maybe too much? Do you know any examples of modern horror games that do the opposite and are more player-centric? Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I play and comment 5 horror games every week, so there will be something new for you to watch all the time. I can't promise screaming at the screen or jumping off my chair or turning off my PC, but I can promise you thoughtful commentary and some real nasty jokes. I'm also thinking of posting this kind of essays/rants every once in a while. Thanks a lot for watching, and remember, Follow this account if you'd like to see more horror video games. See you.